Hi everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm here with my three beautiful babies and we are going to participate in Theme Thursday for this week. And the theme is ketchup or favorite. And so we're going to do two Theme Thursdays in this video. The first one that we're doing is one that we missed out on in September, and it is blue for boys and flowers for girls. So we're going to start with Jamie and my little cuddle bug, Chang Su Lee. Now Chang Su Lee is wearing the sleeper that she wore when she came home to me, and I absolutely love this sleeper on her. Not only because it looks so cute on her, but because it's my favorite color. So it's a lavender on the one side of it, and then on the other side it has pink and lavender flower pattern on the other side, and the same pattern is on the entire back of the sleeper. It's all flowers, pink and lavender. And she is wearing her pink, purple and white pacifier clip, and on the end of that it has a lavender pacifier. It has a pink handle, and she's wearing her lavender headband, and on her headband there's the lavender and pink swirl bow. And then of course she is sharing the Lovey with Gianna, and it's the white bunny rabbit with the pink blanket attached to it, and the pink blanket has white polka dots all over it, and she looks just so darn cute. I just love my little Chang Su Lee. She is such a cuddle bug, I'll tell you. I enjoy cuddling her so much. Jamie is wearing a cream color sleeper, and it's trimmed with blue edging around the ankles, around his neck, and it has long blue sleeves, and he has a blue parrot on the front of the sleeper, but you can't see it because his arm's covering it. He is holding his blue elephant, Lovey, and the blanket on his Lovey is a fleece material. On the top and on the bottom it's satin, and he's wearing his blue pacifier clip, and attached to that is his blue pacifier, and he has blue eyes. So he is all ready for Theme Thursday, which is blue for boys, and Chang Su Lee is wearing flowers for girls. Now the other theme that we're doing is one that is close to my heart, and Gianna is participating in that theme, and it is pink for breast cancer awareness. And her sleeper is a white background, and it's trimmed in, let me lift her foot up so you can see it better. It's trimmed in dark pink around the feet, around the wrist, and around her neck, and it has a pink and dark pink feather design all over it on the front and the back. And then she's wearing her pink headband that has the big pink bow, and on the bow it has white polka dots. And then she's wearing her pink and pearl pacifier clip, and on the end of that it has her pink pacifier. So she is all ready for Theme Thursday, which was pink for breast cancer awareness. Now I wanted to share something about the breast cancer awareness. I do not have any family members that had breast cancer. In fact, any type of cancer does not run on either side of my family, except for a situation that occurred in 1983 with my dad. And I wanted to share this with you guys as a I'm not sure how to explain it. I'm sorry, my words. I have trouble pronouncing my words. I wanted to do it as a memorial to my dad because he died in November of 1983. So I just wanted to share something about him with you guys. Even though the pink is for breast cancer awareness, and I absolutely believe in that wholeheartedly. It's a wonderful program, a wonderful thing, you know, to bring awareness not only to breast cancer, but to other forms of cancer as well. And my dad was a middle-aged man. He was 59. And he worked at a heat treating plant in New Jersey. That's where I grew up. And he worked there for 30 years. And this plant that he worked at, they made parts for airplanes. And one of the ways that they made the parts for the airplanes, I'm sure they might do it differently today. I don't know. But they had these big floor pots of chemicals that the men had to work around all the time. And these floor pots were 5 feet high by 12 feet in diameter. They were huge. I mean, they were just huge. I'm only 5'3", and they just about came up to the top of my head. And I only know that because I was down there a few times to see my dad, and I saw these pots and how big they were. They had different chemicals in each of these pots that they used to make the airplane parts. And they would have to keep the doors open when they were in there working all year round. It didn't matter if it was winter, summer, spring, fall. The doors had to be kept open because they had no form of ventilation other than having these big, huge doors open so the air could circulate and release the fumes from the chemicals that were coming from the pots. And one of the chemicals that they had to work around was acid. And it was not a very nice thing, I'll tell you. When I was growing up as a child, I can remember more than one occasion when my father would come home from the hospital and he would have his face wrapped, his hands, his feet, because the chemicals would burn his hands, his face. The acid would burn right through his shoes, his work shoes. Actually, they were work boots, and onto his feet. And so there were many times that he came home like that, and it scared us all the time. And he would have to take off work for so many weeks, so he could heal up, and then he'd go back and work there again. And it back then, I'm not sure how they do it now, these companies that work around these chemicals. But back then, they didn't take the measures that I'm assuming they take today with protecting their employees, having them wear gargles, mask, protective gloves, the special shoes that they wear that have the steel in them to protect their feet from getting burnt by the chemicals. They didn't have any of that back then. And so it was a very scary thing. It's like you took a risk with your life working around these chemicals. In fact, before my dad passed away, 2 of his best friends that he worked with at this heat treating plant passed away from cancer. So I don't know if it's still in existence today. I don't know. so I'm not going to tell you the name of the company. But anyhow, my dad was a chain smoker, and he smoked cigarettes all the time. When a cigarette got 2/3 down to the, I don't know what you call it, the part that you put in your mouth to, inhale the smoke from, he would immediately light up another cigarette. So that's why I say he was a chain smoker. He was constantly like that from the moment he would wake up in the morning to the moment he would go to bed. And he was also a drinker. He would drink alcohol. Anyhow, in 1982 for Christmas, as a gift to my mother, he stopped drinking and he stopped smoking cold turkey. They didn't have what they have today, these patches and all this other stuff to help you quit. He just up and quit cold turkey. And I can remember there were a couple of months he went through withdrawal. So it was pretty hard on him. Anyhow, in October of 1983, the end of October, he came home from work and he started having problems breathing going up and down the stairs. And the day he came home from work, he told my mom he was having trouble breathing, and she told him to go to the doctor across the street from where we lived and have him check him out. And my dad was a very stubborn man. He refused to go to any doctor. He didn't trust them. He just would not go. But this doctor he did go to, the doctor did an x-ray and told my dad he had a spot on his lung. And he wanted him to go into the hospital so he could do tests on him to find out what's going on with him. My dad refused. He went back to work, and the next few days he just put up with the breathing problem and just kept going to work. Anyway, finally he came home from work early. He could not breathe. They took him to the hospital, admitted him, did tests, and found out that my dad had developed heart cancer. And believe it or not, my dad is the very first person to ever develop heart cancer. He is listed in the medical journals because of it. It was a horrible, horrible form of cancer that he developed, and he was in so much pain. They brought in 6 cancer specialists to see my dad. 2 of them were well known on the entire eastern coast of the United States. They brought them in because of my dad having this type of cancer that has never been detected before. Anyway, 5 of these cancer specialists were men. 1 was a woman. And the male specialists were telling my mom that they could extend his life 6 months to a year. Put him on these medications and we'll do treatment for him, give him chemotherapy, and I forget what the other type of form of treatment is for the cancer. Anyway, he went through all that, and he was totally miserable. They did open heart surgery on his heart. They implanted a tubing in the membrane of his heart, and every day, twice a day, a nurse would come in with a big, huge syringe. I mean, this thing was huge. And she would take out a whole syringe filled with the cancer fluid from around my dad's heart. And they did this twice a day. And it got to the point where they had told my mom about a week later to take him home and keep him on the medications. He was on 16 different medications. And they said, have him be comfortable and, he'll live 6 months to a year. However, the woman cancer specialist told my mom, don't have him take the medication. She said, it's not going to help. She said, he's in so much pain. Just take him home, make him as comfortable as you can, because she said, more than likely, he will pass away within 3 weeks. She said the cancer is too far gone in his heart. But see, my mom was tending to believe the other cancer specialist over this female specialist. Anyway, my dad passed away exactly 3 weeks later to the day. He died in November of 1983. And, you know, he was at home. He was fading out. And my mom panicked. She was crying. She was screaming. She was begging my father to let her call the ambulance to take him to the hospital. My father finally gave in. They took him to the hospital, and he passed away within an hour of getting there. So, you know, it was a horrible thing that my dad went through. He suffered immensely during those, you know, last 3 weeks. The good thing about it is that he only suffered for 3 weeks with this type of cancer. And, you know, for that I am grateful for, because I know many people can suffer with cancer for years. And so, but yes, he only suffered for a little over 3 weeks. And that is why I say, even though I don't know anyone that had breast cancer, it still hits home for me because my dad had heart cancer. And another thing that I want to share with you guys, the reason I tell you that my dad was a chain smoker, if he had continued to be a chain smoker, he would not have died from heart cancer when he did. And I'm going to explain that to you. You know, they say that smoking can kill you, and I guess that's true. But see, in my dad's case, it didn't kill him. It was saving his life, because what the cigarette smoke was doing was actually filtering out the chemicals from my dad's lungs. That, you know, he worked those chemicals that he was working around in those big pots at his job. The cigarette smoking was actually filtering out the chemicals from his lungs. When he stopped smoking the Christmas before for my mom as a Christmas gift, he more or less signed his own death warrant, because when he did that, he didn't have the cigarette smoke to filter out his lungs, and the chemicals took over, and that's how he developed the heart cancer. So, you know, just a little bit of, oh, I don't know what you would call it, guys. You know, it like I said, I guess it's true that the smoking can kill you. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about it, because like I said, with my dad, it was saving his life from the heart cancer. And of course, in the end, when he gave up the smoking, that's when he developed the heart cancer, because there was nothing there to filter out the stuff from his lungs. So I just wanted to share that with you as a memorial to my dad, because there are times that I do think about my father and I miss him. I know it's been a long time, many, many years. He was a young man. He was only 59. And, you know, so, and he suffered quite a bit. And I had already told my son that if I ever develop cancer, I don't want no medications, nothing, because I know what my dad went through. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. He went from a strong middle-aged man to where he lost almost 100 pounds in 2 weeks, and he was literally a vegetable, you know. But anyway, guys, that is our participation for this Theme Thursday, and I just wanted to share a little bit about my personal self, you know, with my dad in reference to breast cancer awareness. I believe that, you know, the awareness is not only for breast cancer, but for all types of cancer. And Gianna says, hi, everyone. Bye, everyone. Mwah. Jamie says, bye, everyone. And Chang Su Lee says, bye, everyone. Bye, Auntie G. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Everyone, take care and God bless. Bye now.